All right, thanks for tuning in to Leading Forecast. We have quite a bit to talk about today. Let's go on over to the current satellite, and we're actually going to skip over the infrared. Here's the visible satellite, and here's this front that's coming down. That's going to be causing some severe weather. In fact, I already had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. And then here is the remnants of Tropical Storm Alberto still kind of spinning around here into the western Atlantic right off the east coast. Going on over, we do have a mesoscale discussion in effect out across Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa, southeastern Minnesota. In fact, the severe thunderstorm watch probably will be issued a little later on this afternoon. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning here for this cell that's just starting to cross over the Minnesota-Wisconsin line here, and I do expect some of these cells to start to fire a little bit more as we get into the afternoon. Going back over to the slides here, this is the limiting factor today. I think the moisture, which is this area right in here, this is kind of a ribbon of moisture coming up. It's kind of displaced from the main real upper level dynamics that we would like to see for tornadoes and storms that produce tornadoes or supercells. It's kind of displaced. All your good dynamics are a little bit farther north here. And we aren't, and it's really where you want to be would be see this out here with some instability into the warm sector to get good discrete storms, to get good tornadoes or very visible tornadoes. This looks like to me a very linear or squall line situation into the afternoon. In fact, we'll show you that here in just a second. Nonetheless, moderate risk issued out across the majority of Wisconsin, very southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa. 10% risk of tornadoes up here across that area where we do have higher moisture and better dynamics in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and then a 45% risk of winds out here, and that includes Eau Claire over towards down towards Davenport, even down towards Rockford, Illinois, getting in on that 30% risk. Going on over to tomorrow, C-Tex out across the plains, C-Tex across the northeast, and then as we get into Saturday, another C-Tex, I think it comes down through here. But probably I think we'll see a slight risk potentially down across this area on Saturday. Again, there's some decent upper level dynamics with the wind fields, but again, the moisture and the instability and the wind fields all kind of look displaced from each other and don't look to really interact a lot with each other. So if they could get together, things could go crazy. We'll have to just wait and see. For day 4 and day 5 here, you can see this is as we get into Sunday. Some kind of a risk will be issued out there, 30% confidence that there will be severe thunderstorms there. And then as we get into Monday, this outlook kind of surprised me. I'm not really a big fan of Monday's forecast. This is the RPM model. In fact, we'll go on over and you can see here's that line of thunderstorms all the way from the Upper Peninsula all the way down through Wisconsin, Iowa, even into Illinois and Missouri. The things we're going to have to watch here is any of these storms like this that get going out in front of the line or stay discrete. Those would be your best chance for tornado or especially strong tornado reports. And if those could get going outside of the main line, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple strong tornado reports later on this afternoon into the evening. Later on today, low pressure center sitting here. Your front's being dragged down across this area. There's your showers and thunderstorms getting going along that front. There's your Tropical Storm Alberto remnants. As we get into tomorrow, Tropical Storm Alberto remnants continue to move up to the northeast. Low pressure center sitting out here tomorrow. Warm front draping up across this area. Some showers and thunderstorms getting going. Probably nothing too severe. Maybe some gusty winds and some hail. And then as we get into Saturday, Alberto starts to move backwards here and starts to head down towards the Florida coast. Out across the plains, here comes your low. We do have that warm front sitting up here, and then probably a dry line sitting down across here. So in this warm sector, and especially along the warm front, I wouldn't be surprised to see some severe weather get going. Now again, how severe that will be will end up depending on exactly where the mid and upper level winds and lower level winds interact with that moisture and instability. Right now, the winds look to be kind of west, more towards the low, and the instability and moisture want to be placed a little farther east, more towards that high pressure ridge that's going to be kind of built out there at 500 millibars. And I'll show you that in just a second. As we get into Sunday, here's your low pressure center. We have a front draped across this area, another little wave of low pressure coming up here. Severe thunderstorms getting going probably from southern Minnesota all the way down, maybe even into the Amarillo area. But I think our main risk area is going to be from central and western Kansas all the way up into central Nebraska here as we get into Sunday. In fact, going on over to the 500 millibar charts, this is today. This is the reason we're seeing so much energy up there. This trough is really dug in and really starting to show this difluent flow where this is kind of spreading out, allowing those winds to rise, and we have that negative tilted trough. So out into this area here, that's why we have that moderate risk area issued. Tomorrow, this is the next system we have to watch. This one's starting to come in from the northwest and eventually going to skedaddle out into the plains as we get into Saturday. Here's that low pressure at 500 millibar. This trough starts to dig in. Your big high pressure system sitting here, and then there's your remnants of Alberto. And this high is going to really kind of help, I think, start to pump some moisture in. The question is, the only thing I would worry about, like I said, if you come off of this area, you're pumping in very kind of drier air from Mexico. But if you can get it off the Gulf here, you can really get some moist air. And that's why I think with your low sitting at surface probably back in here and a warm front sitting in here, look at these winds. These winds are coming off the Gulf once you get right into this area here. But once you kind of get a little further west, those winds are coming out of the southwest off of the Mexico, New Mexico area. So those are going to be kind of drier winds. So your moisture might be displaced out here from your better wind fields up here. We'll just have to wait and see how Saturday plays out. As we get into Sunday, here's that 500 millibar low coming up here. Your trough starts to dig in. You get pretty good difluent flow here from this trough, and then your 500 millibar high out here kind of starts to weaken and move off, and this is going to allow for better moisture returns on Sunday. But again, the upper level winds don't look as good on Sunday. They kind of take from that south and southeast backed position to more of a southwesterly position. As you can see, they'll end up looking about like that at 850 millibars, which tells me that Sunday may be more of a linear event. So anyways, there's still a lot of time for this to change. If you're up in Minnesota, or southeastern Minnesota, eastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa, and then across Wisconsin, even northern Illinois today, keep a very close eye on the weather. Keep your Midland weather radio handy, because it could get a little rough, at least with damaging wind and maybe even some tornadoes a little later this afternoon. Anyways, that's all I have for now. Stay safe and have a great weekend. Until next time, I'm Joseph Cooper.